talked you into this a little bit, to this concept that I'm calling everyone gets paid the same. You want to talk about this, Jay? I know I sent it over to you. I think I even cited you in the article, but I wrote an article called Everyone Gets Paid the Same. It's a theory. I know you already have one correction, which a few people noted, which is it's a hypothesis, not a theory.
Tell us about the article, Cole. What's the general thesis of it?
So the basic thesis is not literally that everyone gets paid the same, because that's ultimately very falsifiable in like 2 seconds, but that your pay is kind of correlated. I called it miscellaneous heartache, which a lot of people took issue with this, but if you kind of took all of the factors of a job and how, like, let's call it difficulty, since people don't like miscellaneous heartache, the difficulty of all those factors combined is directly proportional to your pay. And there was something in the article for everyone to hate, but I actually really believe it. I think that, and I put like a little kind of vignette in there about a hypothetical worker who wants to get a raise from $50,000 to $60,000 a year, and they're thinking their job is going to stay the same, but their pay goes up. When in reality, they have to work more hours, their job gets harder, they have to make more decisions, they need more skills. And what it ends up looking like is like, wow, I got a $10,000 raise, but my life is $10,000 harder. Was this really worth it? Does everyone get paid the same?
I'm super curious what Jay has to say about this. This is not my domain.
Yeah, Cole, plenty of landmines you left in that article for me to navigate around. So I appreciate you bringing me into that conversation. Generally speaking, like if you took it at the highest level, you can poke holes in it all the way around. But at the very highest level, there is a correlation in the experience and training needed. And sometimes you can say educational component of that as well. It may mean degree, it may not, but you had a scatter plot that I told you that you said you totally made up, but there's actually reality to it. So for people who really want to dig into it, there's if you go to ONET, which has a lot of occupational information. So if you have this job, typically what responsibilities, what's the pay, which markets tend to have that sort of thing. So onetonline.org, I think is what it is. They have something called a job zone that they attach to all the different occupations in the country. And it's basically a scale of 1 to 5 of, is this something like you could roll out of bed and do with no training required? If you plot jobs that don't require really any training and you can just show up and do the job, they tend to have much lower pay. If you have a job like I mentioned airline pilot, or somebody that's giving you anesthesia at the hospital, or like even a grad assistant. Grad assistant, you can't just be that. It takes time to get there. So those on a relative scale are harder, take longer to get to that job, and you tend to see pay go up for those roles. Now, they're not going to be equal, like exactly, for a lot of different reasons. You'll see variances by certain industries pay more, the size of company, the profitability of the company, variable comp structures. Anybody who's gone for an interview, you went to these various roles with the same set of skills and you were offered a variety of salaries, right? And so you know that technically it's not exactly right, but on a broad scale, there's a lot of, I think, truth, Cole, to the things that were in your article.